Hey, what is going on, guys? RvzStealth here, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Caps playing the Reworked Pantheon in the mid lane. And now, this Reworked Pantheon is something that is being played in a lot of different roles right now, and it's having really good success in the top lane and in the mid lane at the moment. So I think mid lane Pantheon super sleeper OP at the moment, does super well into a lot of mid lane assassin picks. He's going up against Pyke in this game here, so really good pick into Pyke mid. And we're basically just going to be breaking down as to how Caps is able to basically 1v9 this game. He did extremely well in this game here, and he was able to carry his team really hard. Now, first off here, they're just looking to go for a little invade. They're invading topside, which I think is something that people should do more often. Like, honestly, every single invade you see in solo queue is pretty much just people going to bot lane. Like, nobody ever invades topside, it feels like, and I feel like a lot of the time you're gonna catch somebody off guard, like catch the top laner just sleeping and get a free kill on them. So the top lane invade there, especially like if you're playing Pantheon, just invading with Pantheon if you start your W in the early game is very strong, so you can really look to just get an easy kill. So definitely look to invade when you are playing Pantheon. Start your W here, level 1. He's running press the attack on his Pantheon, so when he does start his W here as well, his W is gonna give him a very quick proc of press the attack there, because his W does proc on hit effect. So you just very quickly stack up that press the attack. You'll see some Pantheon players go Conquer as well. It's pretty good on Pantheon too, but press the attack does give you a little bit more early game potential for sure, because you just get that stacked up way quicker than Conquer. Now for the rest of his runes there, he's running Triumph, he's running Coup de Grace, Alacrity, pretty standard. For secondary runes though, he is running the Biscuit Delivery along with the Time Warp Tonic there. That just does give him an even stronger laning phase, gives him a lot more sustain in the laning phase, gives him a lot more trading power here. So if you are playing a strong early game mid lane champion, then the biscuits and the time warp setup is going to be very good to just make your early game that much better. So to start it off here, he's just winning trades extremely hard against this Pyke. He started his W level 1 there for the invade. Take your Q level 2, obviously, your E level 3. That's going to be what you're going to want to do most games on your Pantheon. So just looking to play really aggressive. If Pyke moves up at all, he can just very easily win these trades. So looks to jump onto him with his W there. Tries to get a Q off, shoves this wave in. And let's see what he does after he gets this wave shoved in. So he's got to shove in the next wave as well here. He's just going to go for an all-in, actually. Does he get the kill? He's got the ignite on him. One more tick. Okay, he gets the kill. Really good play there. So if we just go back now and take a closer look at that play here, let's see how much HP Pyke is on at the moment. So after that trade there, he's on 300 HP. Once you get an enemy chunked down to 300 HP, you're going to be able to kill them with an all-in once you do hit level 3 on Pantheon. So Empower W, Q Ignite is going to kill somebody from 300 HP. Just makes his all-in super strong in the early game. So what he's going to do here is he's going to hit his level 3. And once you do get 3 on Pantheon, your trading pattern is just so strong, because you go in with your Empowered W, you hit your Q, and then you use your E on the way out. You're not really using your E for damage at all. You're just using it for damage reduction and being invulnerable and not allowing the enemy to really get any trade damage off on you at all. So what he's going to do here is he's not even going to care that he's going to take a tower shot or that he's under tower. He's going to go in, Empower W there, use the tap Q, get the ignite off, and then he's going to be taking tower shots, but he uses his E there, blocks a tower shot. He would have been chunked to probably around, like, let's see, he's got 300 HP, probably would have chunked him to around 100 HP there, because he did take one tower shot before. But your E there just makes your tower dive ability so strong in the early game, so just make sure you are taking advantage of that when you are playing this Pantheon. So arriving back to lane now, Caps does have 2 long swords, just going to add to his early game all-in potential here. Charges up his passive, looks to go in with the Empowered W, hits his Q, and Pyke's on what? He's on like 150 HP. He obviously heals up with his passive, and that's where I feel like if this weren't a Pyke matchup, if you were up against, like, say, a Katarina, a Kassadin, a Zed, you would just be able to do even more work in the laning phase, because they don't have the ability to just heal up like the Pyke does. So Pyke pretty much takes like no damage from that trade because of his passive. But if that were a Katarina, they would have been on like 150 HP. They would have had to probably base in that situation, and you're just going to have so much pressure with this Pantheon mid if you can get a bit of a lead. So what he's going to do here is he's just going to slow push the wave in to Pyke's tower. What he could potentially look to do is just straight up dive the Pyke. Like, if Gragas was here, this would be a super good dive opportunity, because it's going to deny Pyke a ton of XP and a ton of gold under tower. But I don't think he's going to look to do that here in this situation. He doesn't have his Ignite up right now. I think if he did have his Ignite up, he would definitely look to go for just a straight up dive onto the Pyke, but he doesn't want to risk throwing his lead this early on in the game here. So Lee Sin's coming in for a gank actually. Let's see how he plays this. So jumps in on the Pyke there, uses Q, blocks a lot of damage there with his E. He's gonna probably, let's see, is he gonna be able to get out here? Lee Sin with a Q should be able to pick it up, and he's gonna miss the Q. Okay, wow. I feel like he should have died there 100% in that situation. Let's just take a look back and see how he was able to play that. All right, so Lee Sin's coming in for a gank there. He has no vision on him at all in the river. I feel like his team might be pinging that out though there. I don't know where those pings are coming from, but Lee Sin's coming up here. All right, so he's gonna get hit by the Q there. He's gonna go back in on the Pyke because I feel like at this point he feels like he can probably try to either turn it onto the Pyke and just kill him right away, or he feels like he's just dead and he's gonna go back in here and try to trade 1-for-1. So what he does, blocks a lot of damage there with his E. He's gonna flash the Pyke stun, so if he didn't flash the Pyke stun, he definitely probably would have died there. Just a really good job at like, just don't walk in a straight line when you're trying to run away from a champion who does have a skill shot. He does a really good job here just dodging around, making sure that Lee Sin doesn't have an easy Q to hit onto him, and he just played that pretty well for the most part. I feel like if he wanted to escape, like if he just wanted to get out and not lose any HP, he probably could have just flashed right away as Lee Sin came in, but knowing Caps, like he's not going to do that. He's going to try to trade. He's going to at least try to go for a 1-for-1 or try to make an outplay, so. Alright, so coming back to lane now, level 6 on the Pantheon. This is where you just need to be very aware of the map, what's going on. Make sure you're always taking a look at top lane, always taking a look at bot lane. See if there's an ult opportunity, because you don't usually want to be holding on to your ult for too long. If you're just sitting mid and you're just like holding your ult for multiple minutes, then that's not really how you want to play Pantheon at level 6. You want to be able to make an impact around the map. So he gets a big chunk there on Pyke. He's got the priority now in lane, or he does to a degree. I mean, Pyke just healed up so much from that trade, but what he's going to do here, look to go for roam play down bot lane. He's got the priority on Pantheon mid, so he has the ability to roam first, which is very key in the early game. Like, no matter what champion you're playing, having early prio in the mid lane is so important, and it's going to allow him to pick up 2 kills here. Should even be able to pick up a 3rd here on the Pyke. So I don't think Pyke's going anywhere. Picks up a triple kill, and that was just all because of the pressure he was able to exert in mid lane. You're playing Pantheon mid, you're playing a champion who's got a very strong early game. Look to use that to your advantage, so be pushing the enemy in under tower like Caps was doing there. Look around the map, he saw there was a roam play with his ultimate, so he roams immediately, picks up a triple, and he's snowballing very, very hard at the moment on this Pantheon pick. So it looks like it's going to be a Duskblade rush here for his Pantheon. I think that full lethality Pantheon is definitely the way to go in the mid lane. You want to be playing this champion sort of like an assassin, I guess. Like, I wouldn't say that Pantheon mid is an assassin, but he definitely does a ton of damage. He has the potential to basically one-shot, so going for Duskblade here just allows you to deal so much damage so quickly. So let's see if he ends up getting out of this situation here. He's got his E up. Okay, flash kick from Lee Sin. He's actually going to live again. Wow, okay, he's gotten out of so many like very sticky situations, but that just goes to show you how strong Pantheon's E can actually be if used at the correct time. He was on what, like 100 HP there? Let's just take a look back. He was on, actually, let's just wait. Did they get a kill on Pyke? They get another kill on Pyke, so the game is pretty much over at this point, I'd say, as long as Caps does play it well. He's 5-0-2. He's basically done everything for his team at this point in the game. He's winning his lane. He's been able to roam bot lane, help them get ahead. He just got a kill in a 2v2 there with his Gragas, or got 2 kills there, so things are looking really good in this game. But let's actually just take a look back there and see how he ended up using his E in this situation. Lee Sin's coming in, he smites the Pantheon, so he should get the Q on him. He gets the Q, uses his E, so he uses his E as the Lee Sin Q comes through, or the second part of the Lee Sin Q comes through, so he negates that damage. If he didn't use his E there, he definitely just would have died straight up right here, I think. Because the Lee Sin Q would have finished him off with the execute. He even took the Lee Sin ult damage there, and he still ended up living, but it was definitely very key that his E did come in when it did, when the Lee Sin's second part of his Q came in. That's definitely how you do want to be using the Pantheon E in that situation though. You don't want to use the E to like block the first part of the Q, because the first part of the Q isn't going to deal as much damage, especially if you're like on lower HP, because Lee Sin Q is an execute. So it was just very vital that he did use the E as Lee Sin was coming in for the second part of his Q. Alright, so 10 minutes into the game now, Serrated Dirk and a Duskblade. You are insanely strong right now on this Pantheon once you do get to those two items there. And what he's going to look to do here, looks like there's a play down bot lane going to be had, so he's going to just immediately leave from mid, look to use an ultimate down bot lane here. Maybe he could have used it a little bit earlier, but I mean, I feel like he probably didn't see the play happening, and he just used his ultimate as soon as he saw the Pyke and Lee Sin down bot lane. But what he's going to do here is he actually just ends up using Flash to guarantee the kill onto the Lee Sin. Misses the snipe onto Caitlyn, but let's just take a look back at that there and see how he's able to get the kill onto Lee Sin here. Because I don't know, is the Flash 100% necessary in this situation? Let's see. So he's just going to flash Q just to guarantee he gets the kill onto Lee Sin, right? He doesn't want him to escape on that low HP, like ward hopping away or something. Like if Lee Sin had ward hop or flash, he could have just flashed away from the Pantheon Q if he charged it up, but he just flashes in, uses the tap Q to make sure he ends up getting the kill on the Lee Sin. So right now 6-0-2 on Pantheon, Pyke's 1-4. If you take a look at the rest of his team, like they're doing all right, but he's definitely been the main reason as to why his team's been able to just have such a strong early game. He's got 8 out of 11 kills, so he's got the most kill participation in the game here, just doing very well 11 minutes in. So right here, 13 minutes in now, we got Gragas on the Rift Herald, and it is before 14 minutes into the game, so they should be able to cash in on the tower plates by using Rift Herald either top lane or mid lane. Depending on which lane does have the most amount of tower plates remaining, would be the lane that I would try to prioritize with Herald. So especially like if you're playing jungle, even if you're playing mid lane, like if you're playing mid and your jungler takes Herald before 14 minutes and you got all tower plates left on the mid lane tower, call your jungler over to use that Herald mid, because if you can get all the gold from tower plates, it's just going to allow you to snowball the game even harder. So right here, there's only like one tower plate left, right? So it doesn't really do a ton here in this situation, but if there were like 4 tower plates left there, the amount of gold that they would have got from that Rift Herald would have been really good. So right here, he's just looking to continue to fight. He's very strong at this point in the game, so gets the flash out of Lee Sin there. Vladimir's full HP. This fight could actually be kind of bad here if the Vlad ends up cleaning this up. Everybody's pretty low. Let's see here. Caps is about half HP. He doesn't want to go in. He's going to go over here, take the plants, heal up to full HP, go in on the Vladimir. He gets the kill on Vlad. Everybody's super low here, so he should get the tap Q on Karma. He's going to wait it out here, use E, wait it out. Q comes up, get the tap Q on Lee Sin. So he just does a very good job at cleaning up that fight. His team ended up dropping the ball quite a bit there. They ended up all getting chunked out pretty hard early on, but because Caps is, I think it was what, 5-0-3 before that fight started. If he wasn't this strong, if he wasn't snowballing the early game as hard as he was, I'd say that fight would definitely be lost there. So he's just doing a very good job at carrying his team in this game. All right, so notice here with mid lane tower down, you do not want to run back to mid lane as a mid lane champion, especially as Pantheon. This is just going to be very good macro here out of Caps. He's going to walk down to bot lane and he's just going to try to get a kill onto Caitlyn here. So the bot lane, or Xayah here, Xayah should run mid lane as he sees Caps walking bot, and with Morgana here, they should be able to pick up a kill onto Caitlyn. Let's see how they play this. All right, Karma's here, so probably not going to be able to get a kill, but the macro, the thinking behind this play, all right, Morgana ends up dying here, so it doesn't end up working out as well as they would have liked it for sure, but the thinking, the logic behind the play is definitely very good. Like if you're playing mid lane and you get your mid lane tower down, definitely look to send the bot lane mid, you go bot, pressure bot lane, and that's what he's going to do here. So he ends up, okay, he ends up using his E at a very good time there, because Pyke ends up ulting, and you can, I guess, I didn't know that you could dodge the Pyke damage from his ult, but apparently you can with the Pantheon E, so that's really good to know there. So make sure that you, if you're playing against Pyke, that you are saving your E, like for when he does use his ultimate, if it's close. Like obviously if you're snowballing super hard like he is here, and you can just straight up 1v1 Pyke, you probably don't have to save your E at all, but if it's close in certain situations, then just saving your E for the Pyke ult will allow you to dodge out on that damage. So he ends up going bot, gets the bot tower here. Now what he's going to probably look to do is he can either go bot lane for this dragon, or he can just look to go top lane. So just taking all of the outer towers down as quickly as possible in the game here. He's doing a great job of that so far. So it looks like there's pings going down on this dragon. So team should head over to dragon now, pick that up. Let's see what he does here, because his team could probably honestly just grab the dragon themselves. He probably doesn't need to help them. And even if he does, he could look to go for an alt play. So let's see. See what he does here. He could look to go top and just dive the Vladimir, try to grab top tower, so his team ends up grabbing the dragon. All right, he's kind of like, he's a bit indecisive here as to what he wants to do, it feels like. But he's just going to continue to push mid. Looks like they could have an alt play down here on Pyke if they wanted to. All right, he's just playing aggressive in the enemy jungle here. Finds the Lee Sin, finds the Pyke. So when you do get ahead, just look to play around your team, look to get deep vision. That's what they're doing right here, just really well played. They're just pressing their advantage very well without playing too overly aggressive, right? He's not just walking into the enemy jungle alone or anything, getting caught out, giving them the shutdown. He's playing around his team. His team's in the jungle, so he's going to posture up, get vision down, play aggressive. Just don't sit back when you do have a lead on Pantheon. Play smart aggressive like he's doing in this situation. So it looks like what they're going to do here is just group as a team, push down mid lane. There's no way that they really lose a 5v5 fight here as long as they don't get caught out. So I feel like if they just push mid together, they should be good. Let's see here. Caps takes a tower shot, takes a Pyke Q. He's going to end up going down here actually. So I know like a minute ago I was saying that he was playing very well with his lead. He wasn't playing too overly aggressive, wasn't throwing the game, but I guess that's kind of Caps for you, right? He's gonna make that one aggressive play or one over aggressive play every single game by trying to play a little bit too far up, and that's just where like that play is gonna happen, right? It's not the end of the world or anything, but it's just about minimizing those amount of mistakes you make each game and just making sure that he doesn't make another one, because I feel like they're still in a fine spot even though he just died, gave up a big shutdown there. Who did that go over to? It went over to the Lee Sin, luckily, so that's really good actually that it went over to the Lee Sin and not the Caitlyn. But it's still something that you don't want to happen. Like if you got a 700 gold shutdown, I think that Caps would be the first to admit there that death was pretty bad. It wasn't really necessary at all. But let's see what he's gonna do here. He's gonna ult in. He's gonna come in here and he's gonna go down again. All right, so right now he's just kind of playing like a bit too overly aggressive. I think like there's no reason to really be playing this aggressive with his lead. I feel like they could play a little bit more macro as well here. Like they got the side towers. The side towers are still up here, the tier 2s, and I feel like if they were to just split push, like if you're playing Pantheon, you're a pretty good split push champion, right? You got your ultimate that you can use to come in with your team. If they're pushing mid lane and they get engaged on, you use your ultimate mid. So he could just look to split bot here. There's a lot of different options that they do have. They could look to group for Baron. It's coming up soon. So let's just see what he does here in this situation. Let's just fast forward. So he's gonna go bot here. I think he's finally realized that, okay, let's stop trolling around. Let's actually start playing some macro here. So he's gonna push bot. He's got his ultimate up in, I'd say, like what, 20-30 seconds. So he's just gonna push bot here now, and he should be able to actually focus a bit more and close out this game. So let's just fast forward a little bit more. Gonna push bot in, gonna roam over to mid lane here, try to get a kill onto the Caitlyn, who's sitting up a little bit too far. Not gonna be able to find it. Gragas and Xayah ended up dying there, so this actually isn't looking too good now. Like, it's a pretty close game. It was a lot more of a lead for his team a couple minutes ago before they made a couple of throw plays, but they're still in a decent spot. Definitely not as to where they would like to be for sure. But yeah, he's just playing the correct macro now. He's going bot lane, pushing out the side wave. He's got his ultimate up, so he can look to come in with his ultimate if his team does end up getting engaged on. So let's just fast forward a bit here, see what he ends up doing. So just pushing bot. He's going to draw 2 members bot lane. So this is where like split pushing can be very effective. If you can draw 2 members bot lane, like the Pyke and the Vlad there, your team can look to win a lopsided fight. So now he's just going to look to group up with his team, push out the side lane, group up. Always like before you group up, you always want to have your side lanes pushed. So top lane's not pushed right now. Ideally, like somebody should be going over there, pushing that top lane side wave out. But they're just staying grouped here, getting vision around Baron. Dragon's coming up 2 in a second here, so they could look to go over there. Alright, so they find a pick onto Morgana mid here, or not Morgana, onto Karma. Vladimir actually TP's in here. They should be able to kill him as well. Let's see. Alright, Bind comes in. Oh, that was actually very well played. Okay, Gragas ult into Morgana Bind, picks up the kill there onto, who was that? I don't even know. Onto the Caitlyn, I think it was, or it was onto the Vladimir. I don't know what I'm saying this game. Alright, so they should be able to get the inhib here. So right here, Cap's just pushing out his side lanes, super important. Always be pushing out your side lanes before you look to make a Baron play, before you look to make any play on the map. Now he's going to roam down as the lane is pushing out. There are a couple pink wards there that he should be looking to clear out as well. Let's see what he does here. So Dustblade proc gets the pink ward, and he is... Looks like he's going to look for a flank from behind here. Rengar's still bot lane though, so this would be a 4v5 fight if he does look for it. Alright, they're pinging assistance on the Rengar, so Rengar's coming in with a TP. He pops the Edge of Night there before he comes in. They chunk the Caitlyn. They don't kill the Caitlyn though. Alright, Rengar didn't do anything there, it seems like. He just got like chain CC'd and just died. So that fight's actually not good. Ooh, the Vlad stopwatch coming in. Alright, luckily they get the kill on Vlad there. That could have been a lot worse. Alright, so these fights are actually very close right now. I feel like his team's definitely not doing like as much as like, I don't know why, like where was the Gragas ult there on Caitlyn? Where was any extra damage to just finish off the Caitlyn? It feels like Caitlyn should have died there 100% with Caps coming in there from the flank. But now he's going to use his ultimate in mid. If the enemy overstays here, this could be really good for his team. So he's going to come in with the ult. Should be able to clean this up hopefully here. Let's see. Jumps onto Karma. Picks up the kill there. Caitlyn died too. Pyke's still alive, so if they kill the Pyke here, this is definitely, it should be, actually Xayah died too. So this might not even be a Baron here. Let's see, they kill the Pyke. They should be able to do Baron. Honestly, let's see what they do. Vlad is up. He does have ult in a little bit, so could be somewhat risky, but I feel like they should be able to do it here. They got 3 members up. Rengar's going to be dealing quite a bit of damage to it. Pantheon will deal damage to it, so honestly all of them will deal damage, so they should be fine to finish this off here. Yeah, they don't have a Mountain Drake or anything, so I mean it does take them a little bit longer for sure. Here comes Vlad, so this is what I was a little bit worried about. Vlad coming in from behind and possibly just killing them all, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen, so they get the Baron. And then right here, I feel like Caps should just probably base, reset, use his gold. His team's not looking to... Yeah, his team's just looking to base here, so I don't know. I guess that's just Caps being Caps. I feel like that's just a play where you just base there, you reset, and you just you start pushing lanes with your Baron. It kind of just extends the game for no reason. You know, there's no reason to really just die there, play aggressive, reset, group with your team, push down top or bot, and you just end the game a lot sooner. So we got 31 minutes into the game now. It looks like Baron's back up, so the team's just looking to control vision around Baron, make sure that they are just getting enough vision so that they can very easily either look to take Baron or look to get a pick around the Baron. So Caps here, he's getting engaged on, but Pyke just wastes ult there, so that's actually really good. His team is going to have the advantage here in a fight if they do look to go for one. So it looks like Rengar's posturing up. They could look to go for an engage. Gragas is heading around there on the minimap. Look at Gragas. He's on the flank there, so they could look to very easily look to engage this here if Gragas comes in. So he gets an ult off. Caps just jumps onto Vladimir, so really good target selection there with his W. Not jumping onto Pyke and making sure he is jumping onto Vlad so he's not able to reach his Xayah as quickly. So Caps actually ends up going down there, but honestly, like, you could take a look at that play and you could say, oh, well, Caps died, he just got carried, but the target selection from his W was really good. He went onto Vlad, he allowed his Xayah to stay alive and not just get one shot, so that was honestly pretty key there in that fight. If Xayah went down and Vlad stayed alive for longer, they might have actually lost that fight. But I think overall here in this game, like, Caps did play very, very well throughout the early to mid game. Couple of, like, mistakes, I think, in the late game for sure. I feel like he played a little bit too over-aggressive in some situations, but it just goes to show you the potential of the Pantheon pick in the mid lane. Does very well into a lot of assassin picks, can have a great early game. You can have priority in almost every single matchup, so definitely a pick I would recommend picking up for solo queue right now. I do think it's a very underrated pick. With that being said though, guys, I think that's going to be the end of the video. If you guys did enjoy, then be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you have yet to already. So thanks for watching, have an awesome day, and I will see you in my next video.